Saturday, February 5th and 6th. We've received just enough doses of the Pfizer vaccine from the Florida Department of Health to administer first and second doses to 975 people, and we've chosen to quickly open a site in this community for this allotment. While we're happy to have received this allotment, we need more to truly mitigate risks and protect the health and safety of our community. I will continue to work with the state of Florida and the Biden administration to secure the vaccines that we need for this city. By state order, the vaccine is still limited to individuals 65 and older, first responders, and medical personnel. To help alleviate large crowds and promote social distancing, we have a protocol the public needs to follow to receive the vaccine at this location. If you were born January through June, please come on Friday. That will be the first 500 doses, born January for June. If your birthday is the months July through December, please come on Saturday. 475 doses are available that day. To ensure our elderly citizens do not have to wait in long lines, we will follow the same system we put in place at our 2 senior centers that serve as vaccine sites. We'll hand out vouchers and allow people to come back later that day, that same day, to receive the vaccine. Please bring a photo ID with you, and to save time, have a signed copy of screening consent form available from coj.net/COVID vaccine form. If you're unable to print it, we'll have them available on site. Those who receive their vaccine on Friday and Saturday will return to the same location 21 days later for the second dose. Patients will receive reminder phone calls the day before their scheduled second dose, directing them to report to the site where they received their first shot. Also learned this morning that the AME Ministers Alliance will be offering free transportation Friday and Saturday, and we will get those details will be distributed to the media after this press event. Thank you. Because of this vaccination operation, the COVID-19 testing from our partners at Agape Health that normally operate from this location will temporarily move their testing operations to the following locations: Agape Dunn at 1680 Dunn Avenue and Agape Blanding at 5460 Blanding Boulevard. Both of these testing locations will be open 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. today and tomorrow. An important reminder that testing is still a critical tool that we have as we fight this virus while it's with us. Testing is available. If you need a test, get a test. As I've said before, I'm proud of our team at the City of Jacksonville, demonstrating that when we are given the resources and opportunity, we're able to quickly and efficiently stand up operations to get this life-saving vaccine administered to the public. If and when vaccines become available, we will stand up additional sites in other areas of our community. We are well aware that all neighborhoods need access to this vaccine. As I've said before, we don't control the supply chain, but we've made it clear to those that do that we stand ready to jump to action when supplies are available, just as we're doing today. I'll remind people it's not a time to relax. We got to take this seriously, practice personal responsibility with proper washing of hands, wearing of masks indoors when you can't practice social distancing. We're all in this together. Let's keep working towards a solution. Again, thank you before joining us. Before we go to questions, I've got a number of council members that were all instrumental in this, but some are going to say a few words, and we'll start with City Councilman Reggie Gaffney.
Thank you, Mayor. Let me tell you how we got here. My colleagues behind me, I want to thank Councilman Newby, Councilman Jackson, Councilman Pittman, and Councilman Freeman. A couple weeks ago, we all took it upon ourselves to reach out to the mayor and said, look, we all got one thing in common. We want to make sure we don't forget about the north side of town. And like always, what the mayor always said to me, Councilman Gaffney, as soon as I can make it happen, I'm going to make it happen. And so to the mayor and to Chief Moreland, who sometimes don't get a lot of credit, I want to thank both of y'all for hearing all our cries, because that's why we're here today. You got a mayor who's committed to make sure not just the west side, the south side, but also the north side get its share. And one thing I can assure you in closing, this is just a beginning. Because he already told me, Councilman Gaffney, as soon as I get more, You guys tell me where some other locations. So with me and my colleagues behind going to make sure we tell him where other locations on the north side of town is needed. And so thank y'all for coming. And again, I want to thank this mayor for being committed to not just one side of Jacksonville, to the whole Jacksonville as a whole. So thank y'all.
Before I introduce Councilperson Pittman, I just want to reiterate something that Councilman Gaffney just said, that I want to thank each of you for always making sure that your constituents' voices are heard in my office, in the executive branch. People need to know you're looking out for them and you're always advocating for them. So with that, Councilperson Pittman. Thank you.
Good morning. First of all, Mayor, I just want to say thank you for making good on your promise, because sometimes we feel in 7, 8, 9, and 10 that the constituents feel like they're left off and left out. And this morning shows the commitment of why it's important. But what I would like to say to the constituents that live in the areas on the north side of town, we need you to show up, because we're bringing services that is essential, and we need you to be here for your first shot, and we need you to be here for your second shot. It's important that we protect our community, because we're in an area that we know where COVID is high and it's increasing. My big thing lately has been the large crowds. And so I want to make sure if there are large crowds, that those individuals who are 65 years and older, that they have the vaccine. You promised, Mayor, you made good. We're here today, not only with me as the district councilwoman in this district, we are together. And whatever happens in District 8, it happens in 7, 9, and 10. And as you see, we're standing together, we'll be together, and we will advocate to make sure that these shots are in the neighborhoods that they need to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilperson. And now Councilperson Brenda Priestley Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to take this opportunity to share that I think that what often gets lifted up in Jacksonville are our divisions and not our sense of community. And I want to say to the mayor, thank you for your collaborative spirit during the entire COVID-19 pandemic. And everybody needs to understand that these were not partisan issues, these were neighbors' issues. So starting in March, when COVID-19 pandemic was declared in the United States, the mayor has been open from testing locations to COVID cares funding for mortgage, rent, utility relief, to helping our neighbors with reemployment applications, and to whatever the needs were that arise. And so we know that we have about 14% of our neighbors in Jacksonville, 133,000 plus, that are 65 or older. And we know that some of those neighbors are the most vulnerable, particularly those of color and those that are socioeconomically challenged. And so your ability to stand this location up right now, and your further commitment to making certain wherever our neighbors are all over that we will have these types of services, needs to be applauded. You know, I believe in the precious present, and the precious present says, for today, we are going to do the best by our neighbors, and we have a mayor that's willing to meet us where we are with that. You know, I come from a school that says, sometimes you have not because you ask not. That's right. And so behind us, you see council members who ask, and the mayor, and I can say since I've been elected, I haven't gotten no's. You have to ask. You are judicious with your ask, but I haven't gotten no's. And so again, we are very encouraged by this opportunity to service our most vulnerable neighbors at this location. And I'm certain that the mayor is committed to rolling it out further as need be through all parts of Jacksonville. Thank you so much. And thank you, AME Ministerial Alliance, for providing, I'm a good AME, for providing transportation on Friday. Thank you.
Priestley Jackson, once again, you stole my thunder, because I'm a good AME too, and so thank the AME minister for, and actually the president of the alliance is actually my pastor, so I got one on you there. First of all, I want to thank the mayor and his administration, because I remember that's one of the conversations I had with him. Hey, we got to get into the African American community, and he promised me that. And just like Ms. Jackson said, he have never told me no. So anything I have asked for, he have delivered. So thank you once again, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, the citizens of Jacksonville. Thank you, everybody, for coming together to make Jacksonville a better place. Thank you, and God bless.
All right, with that, we will take questions.
Check, you got, okay. Hi, good morning. Mayor, how is the city going to make sure that people from outside of this community aren't coming here and taking up valuable spots for this valuable vaccine that's meant for this community?
Look, I would expect, here's what I've seen as we've been navigating COVID-19. People's better angels has dictated their behaviors. We saw it when we did stimulus supply checks, other things that we've had to do. So I would just say, allow this site to be used for its intended purpose and for the intended people. Like I've said this before, we're not going to be in some sort of a police state. We are being difficult with people. But if you meet the criteria and you're at this site and you're in line based on your birth date, you're going to get the vaccine.
To be clear, though, you don't need to make an appointment online to come here. You don't need a computer access, internet access. You don't need that.
You do not need an appointment. That's correct. We prefer that you go online and fill out the documents. But if you don't have access to do that, you can do it here. That's right.
Mayor, on the same lines of that, so it's going to be first come, first served. And I know we've seen in the past those huge lines. What are you going to do here to make sure that these seniors, aren't going to be there? I know you're trying different methods.
Social distancing, the ability to get a voucher and leave and come back the same day. Look, I said before, this is unprecedented times we're living in, right? A global pandemic. And we're now to the phase, gratefully, where we have vaccines that we are getting to people. And we all want more supplies. We all want more efficient operations. But this is a big, massive effort for the federal government to get it to the states, to get it to the cities and the counties. And then we do the best we can to get it to the people. And each time we do it, we try to learn something new and do it a little bit better next time. And always looking for improvement, but I would just encourage people, get here, get your voucher if you need to, and get in line.
Hey guys, so I was just in the Northside neighborhood about last week talking to a lot of residents, and a lot of them, most of them were saying they don't want to get the vaccine. They don't trust the vaccine. What could you do to tell them that they can trust it?
Well, I'm going to let some council members address that here in a second, but I would say I understand that concern. There's reason and there's history, but we have had African American leaders in our country and even in our own city that have taken the vaccine to demonstrate, and medical professionals that have taken it to demonstrate that it's safe, that it's smart, and that you ought to get it. Does anybody else want to?
I will say, as being a district council person, a lot of the residents and seniors that I've spoken with, they want to take the vaccine. Number one, because they have a lot of underlying health issues, and those that have speculation about taking the test, no one is twisting their arms to come do that. But those that want it and want an opportunity to know that they're safe, this is an opportunity. It's accessible. With the church providing transportation, I think that would be very, very important to get the seniors here. And most of the residents that live in this area, they know if there are any services that are coming to this community, this is a site that they can come to. It's easily accessible and available.
Thank you. Yeah. And I wanted to share that, the elephant in the room with that is the Tuskegee experiment, right? This is not that time. So I can share that my senior elderly relatives, my Uncle Rodney Hurst, I don't think we'll have a problem saying he's gotten the vaccine. My mentor, Dr. Evie Welch, who's 84, they've gotten the vaccine. We wouldn't be standing here and wouldn't have pushed for this if we didn't have full faith and confidence in the viability of the vaccine and encouraging our neighbors who are most vulnerable, the elderly, to come and get it. And so we confront the history, but it's not the present where we are right now. And so hopefully with that and seeing us here today, that they will have full faith and confidence in moving forward with it.
Let me see this. And let me try to answer that question a different way. I have lost either constituents that live in District 7, family members or friends, a total about 60 over the last 9 months. They go home to be with the Lord. And so I say to those individuals who don't trust the process, don't trust this vaccine here, think about your loved ones. I can tell you many stories where young children came home to allow their parents to take care of them because their parents did not fit. The parents is no longer here, and I'm now dealing with mental health with all and quite a bit of individuals who now going through trauma because they didn't think it was real. So anybody listen, yeah, you may not trust the process and save a life and not to trust it. So please, at this time, think about your loved ones and come out and take this shot, because this is life or death right here. And what we're trying to do, all of us together, is save every life that we can in Jacksonville. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say one thing to all the citizens of Jacksonville. On March 17, 2020, I was in the hospital from this disease. And I remember telling my wife, sweetheart, give the insurance policy out because I'm not going to make it through the night. That's how deadly this disease is. So I urge all the citizens of Jacksonville, please take this vaccination. Please don't be in the situation I am. Thank God that God healed me. But I will always remember March 17, 2020. Thank you.
Thanks, Councilman.
You know, Mayor, yesterday the governor stated that they are going to have some vaccines for some church groups if it's requested. We heard the ministers yesterday held a news conference listing sites here that they would like to see that in Jacksonville. Have we made that request to get that small amount that's available to some of the north side churches?
Sure. So I myself personally and members of my team were in touch with the governor's office yesterday and the day before. I don't have specifics, but they've heard the voice, they've heard the need, and I'm told that they are actively working on a plan to get vaccines to some of the churches in the community.
Mayor, could you tell us how many vaccines the city has currently, not just for this site, but for the entire city for this week?
I believe our original allotment was 11,000. Is that right, Jordan? Dr. Moreland, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead, take the question. You're in it every day.
Yeah. So for the second dose for Lane Wiley and Mandarin, 10,725. And so now for Clenzel T. Brown, we have a total of 1950, 975 for the first dose and 975 for the second dose. That's what we have now. You're welcome.
And we'll distribute all the times and everything for tomorrow, so you guys all have access to put that out. All right, is that it with questions? I would just close back to why people should take the vaccine. I'll tell you personally that whenever it comes my turn, whatever category, when the state says that I can get the vaccine, I'm getting the vaccine. Think about peace of mind. Think about not having to worry about every time you come home, were you exposed today, and what does that mean? So if you qualify, we hope to see you tomorrow and Saturday. Thank you. All right. Thanks, Dr. Moore.
That's why I say it wasn't one of those quick ones. I know she's going to want to talk to you. Go ahead.
Hi, how are you?
Just fine.
Just wanted to see if we could get more details on the transportation. Let me see if so once he's ready, we'll come over. Do you mind if we do it on camera?
I don't mind at all.
Perfect, thank you.
Oh, if there's such a thing. Both of your sides of it. Don't worry.
Then July through December, if your birthday falls within that time frame, your vaccination date is Saturday. This is for first responders and those 65 and older. After the first shot, you'll get a shot form to come back in 21 days. Now you take that along with your ID. You also take a copy of your screening form. Now, so that the elderly won't have to wait too long in lines, there will be vouchers given to them to come back the same day at a specific time. But again, as you mentioned, a lot of folks on the north side were saying that they felt left out. You'd have to go to Regency Square Mall. So if there were some transportation issues, that was a challenge. And then you also had some state-run sites that were opening through Publix, and that was in St. Johns County, which made it very hard for a lot of people to get out there too.
And it opens at 9 o'clock each day, Friday and
Till
Saturday.
5.
We should mention that. And we'll be out there too, live, I'm sure, tomorrow morning on Action News Jax this morning to give you a preview. You can count on Action News Jax to bring the very latest on this breaking story. You can also get instant information on actionnewsjax.com. We'll see you at noon.
This has been a CBS 47 Fox 30 Action News Jax breaking news update. For continuing coverage of this story, download the Action News Jax news app.